certainly as a couples therapist get a high number of people coming in saying we've lost intimacy, or should we get a divorce?
Couples therapist Chris Allen says in a world where every talk show, movie, magazine, and video is dealing with sex and relationships, the concept of intimacy is one that's confusing to many couples.
Before you decide to get a divorce, there's a whole bunch more you can do in terms of learning where is your natural way of intimacy together, how is it already occurring, and you might not even be noticing that.
That leads to a lot of couples who think their sex life is the only part of intimacy.
I don't think that the measure of intimacy at all has something to do with sexuality. There are ebbs and flows in sex lives. There are couples that are relatively low sexuality that have other forms of high intimacy. You may get a relationship where you have a lot of hot sexuality, but that's all you do. You don't have a lot of other intimate channels. It's one marker, but it's not the end-all be-all marker.
He had the orders on Monday, and we got married a Wednesday afternoon, I think it was, and then that Friday he was gone.
All these ideas coming from your head that you just read in a fashion magazine or that you heard that your sister does, and then you start to think like, well, am I doing it right? It's very normal to compare. That's in a way how we're learning. On the other hand, what happens is people use that as a standard for what they should be doing, and that interferes with this. There really is like a natural ability to develop an erotic life in most people.
I think it's romantic. He makes me dinner every night.
Every night.
And if your intimacy seems to be backing off, don't worry, that's normal.
I think people are tormented like crazy by that. I think they feel that it should be hot. And I think in particular they're tormented by this concept of chemistry. You know, if you talk to couples that have had a great exploratory life together, it ebbed and flowed. It's hardly ever very linear. Most people call chemistry this melting when you fall in love, and that often doesn't last. If you use that sense of like, I have to have you, that marginalizes other really key experiences. You may have your most intimate experiences, for example, raising your children together.
Once in a while, a long vacation. But that is changing, after our son is born.
Stress, kids, and fatigue can all get in the way of intimate moments with your partner. But the nation's concern over body image also causes many people to withdraw in a relationship.
I don't think people need to worry too much about that. If your partner's aroused to you, it doesn't matter that much whether your breasts are maintaining their perkiness or your stomach is hanging out so much. They'll still enjoy it. There's a lot you can do to develop your personality that will, in the long range, be a more sustainable, arousing concept in your relationship than buying the best lingerie or something. You really want to develop your personality or your interests or your talents and do some of those, use your development, then do that together with your partner. You'll get a lot of mileage out of that. More than, I don't know, lingerie's fun. I'm all for it.
What's important for all couples to remember is that relationships change over time.
You need awareness that hotness, if you work at it, it will be there over the lifespan. I can't predict that for every relationship, but don't marginalize all the other experiences that you'll have together.